Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. How are we doing today? It is Ben Morgan of the Fins Up Network. We're going to be packing a lot into today's video. Obviously, with playing on Thursday, I only have time for one preview video this week. We're going to jump into all of the action here in a second, but before we do, a couple of things that I want from you. First and foremost, this is going to be our preview and our prediction video, so I want to hear your final score predictions. Go ahead, drop them in the comments. If you haven't gotten subscribed yet, definitely appreciate it if you do that as well. But on top of that, definitely let me know if you're going to be attending this game. I'm also going to end up being in attendance. Maybe there's a way in the comments we can coordinate where things are going to go down with a tailgate or something. So, hey, if you're going to go ahead. Would love to meet some of you viewers out there as well. But like I said, we've got a lot to pack into this video today. So let's start with the latest Dolphins news and updates. Now, I'm a little bit late. I saved everything for this video, so I'm a little late with the majority of this roster news, but I still think it's important enough to include in this week's preview video because safety Patrick McMorris, a lot of viewers out there wanted him activated. He was officially activated to the Miami Dolphins 53-man roster, which meant we needed to create a roster space. And with that came the release of a veteran safety. Tells you how much the Miami Dolphins really like and believe in Patrick McMorris. We released safety Marcus May to create that roster spot. Now, Marcus May wasn't playing the biggest number of snaps over the last few weeks, but regardless, if an injury were to happen and we get thin real quick at that position, showing you how much faith and belief right now that they have in Patrick McMorris when you end up releasing a safety in Marcus May, who prior to the Dolphins, every game that he appeared in, he started, and he was a proven starter in this league. We'll see what ends up transpiring from that. But the Dolphins also activated guard Isaiah Wynn, and to create that roster spot, they released Lester Cotton. So the left guard spot still appears to belong to Robert Jones after all the smoke has kind of cleared here, but obviously a new backup now with Lester Cotton off of the roster. And then to wrap some stuff up here, Shaq Barrett, remember that name? Signed him earlier this offseason. He just informed the team in the NFL that he would like to unretire. So the Miami Dolphins officially hold his rights after signing him as a free agent earlier this offseason. I believe they have until Thursday at like 3 or 4 p.m. to decide if they're going to bring him back to the roster or if he needs to remain retired, because the Dolphins do kind of control all that because they have his rights right now. I'll pop this off the screen. Let's get the injury scroll going. I want to take a quick dive into the latest injury updates because all of the players for the Miami Dolphins that are out were pretty much expected to be out. It's Tyus Bowser, Kendall Fuller, Anthony Walker. With Bowser out, maybe us fans get what we want, which would be a game day, not elevation, but activation, not a healthy scratch for Mohamed Kamara. Hopefully we see that on Thursday. Kendall Fuller out. What does that mean? That's meant more Storm Duck, more Cam Smith, depending on injury, depending on game situation. And then with Anthony Walker out, a guy who we showed a lot of faith in as well, starting him over David Long, outright releasing David Long. Well, with him now being out for a little while, that's another opportunity for Tyrell Dodson, as we saw him fill in last week against the Patriots. But I want to talk about the Packers injuries as well, because there's some interesting names here for Green Bay. Romeo Doubs, Jaire Alexander, Edgerrin Cooper all have been ruled out. I'm recording this on Wednesday evening, by the way. We catch a little bit of a break there by Jaire Alexander missing this game. He had one of the interceptions last time we played the Green Bay Packers on primetime. It was the Christmas Day game where Tua ended up having basically the season-ending concussion on that one. He will miss this game, but regardless, the Green Bay secondary, let's just tell you this, it's still going to be a test. We don't just completely get a pass on this one. We will get to what I mean here in a second. Let's start things off, though, today, previewing this one. Let's talk with a little bit of Jordan Love. Actually, the quarterback that Brian Flores really wanted over to us. So you know there's a little extra motivation here for QB1 here on Thursday. So there's a few things that we have been seeing from Jordan Love this year. One, he's been a little bit more careless with the ball this year. He's already thrown 11 interceptions this year compared to 11 all of last year. His completion percentage of 61.8%, also the lowest that it's been since his rookie season with the Packers. But our plus side for Jordan Love, he's not getting sacked. Man, he is staying upright. He's been sacked just 10 times this season. I know he's missed some games, but the Green Bay Packers, their offensive line, allowing the third least sacks per game, just 1.4. So making Jordan Love uncomfortable on Thursday, likely going to be a challenge, at least based on how the Packers or their offensive line and quarterback has performed so far this season. But doing so, since he's not used to it right now, would probably present some challenges that he hasn't seen yet this year. So we need Chop Robinson. We need you to stay hot on this short week because, man, last week led the NFL with 10 pressures. He got home for another 1.5 sacks. He's been winning with speed. He's been winning with power. He's been winning on the inside, the outside. The guy definitely looks the part. Just 11 games into his NFL career. We need him to continue to be disruptive. Give those Packers tackles all they can handle on Thursday. But the secret sauce where the Packers have really kind of made teams pay this year offensively, it's the run game. The run game in general, the team in general, third in the NFL in rushing yards per game. Josh Jacobs is third individually in rushing yards this season as well. He only trails Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, so he's keeping good company there. Now, the nice thing is that we've been pretty stout against the run recently. We're up to 9th best in rushing defense in the league in regards to yards allowed per game, just under 107 yards per game. But over our current 3-game win streak, we've actually been the 5th best. We're allowing just 72 rushing yards per game. Now, I will concede that we haven't played a team or a running back that runs the ball as well as the Packers and Josh Jacobs over that 3-game stretch. I get that. But there's definitely a confidence. There's been some growth up front and in that front 7 with the Dolphins that hopefully can continue to be put on display tomorrow. Now, one thing that I think that we need to watch for is that guy we mentioned earlier, filling in for Anthony Weaver. How does Tyrel Dodson end up doing with that increased workload? Definitely keep an eye on that. And let's hope that Tyrel Dodson, make another splash play like we did last week when Ramsey got in Drake May's face. He makes the one-handed highlight catch. Let's make some more splash plays. Another welcome to Miami moment for him. All right, receiving-wise for the Packers, man, they spread the ball around. They've got 6 guys with 30 or more. Check out the stats. They've got 6 guys. One of those guys is Romeo Doubs, so he's missing this game. But they have 6 guys with 30 or more targets this season. The difference between 1st and 6th on that list, it's only 23 targets. So for comparison's sake, we've got 4 guys with 30 or more targets. The difference between targets between our 1st and 6th guy is 59. It was 23 for the Packers. Our 1st and 6th is Tyreek Hill and Odell Beckham Jr. However, I'll say that if there's an issue with this unit, it's just not making the catch. It's dropping the ball. As of last week, they led the entire NFL in drops. Wicks has 7, Reed has 6, Doubs and Kraft both have 5. So some of that needs to be factored in when you consider Jordan Love's lower completion percentage this year as well. But if you look at him, Reed can be a little gadgety. He can be really good after the catch. He's got good speed. Christian Watson, he's got crazy speed. He can take the top off the defense. Once again, though, if he can catch it. He dropped an absolute dime from Jordan Love in their game last week against the 49ers that should have went for 6. Tucker Kraft, he continues to fly under the radar. He's eating up yards after the catch. How we defend these Packers pass catchers, where we line up Jalen Ramsey, going to be a top thing to keep your eye on defensively, because despite really none of these wide receivers, tight ends having like the crazy eye-popping numbers, so many of them have shown sporadically over weeks that it might be a different guy any week. Any of them can pop off at any point in time. Let's switch things up, us offensively against the Packers defensively, to my man, number 1. It's prime time. It's cold weather. It's a holiday game. It's a road game against a good team. Man, you can do a number on numerous narratives with another strong performance yet this week. And I should add, I say another strong performance, was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week and the FedEx Air Player of the Week for his performance last week against the Patriots. I get it, though. That was in Miami. It was weaker competition. It's all the narratives. This is our chance But when you are throwing the rock against this Packers defense, we talked about this earlier, you gotta be mindful of where Xavier McKinney is. Former teammate at Alabama, so he's at least a little bit familiar with this game, but tied for the NFL league with 7 interceptions so far this season. The dude has been a turnover machine. He's continuously found himself proven to be in the right spot at the right time this year, proven to be one of the better offseason free agent acquisitions on the entire defensive side of the ball for any team. We got to know where he is. Tua needs to continue to hit those check downs when the shots aren't there. Don't be forcing anything back over the middle of the field. McKinney will be waiting for you. Utilize Devon Achane. Utilize Jonnu Smith. And you know what? If you get single coverage and he's not in the vicinity, let's see a deep shot to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. We can beat defenses multiple ways right now. Curious to see how the Packers end up defending us from a pass catching perspective as well. When it comes to getting it done on the ground, let's just say I'm for it. Unfortunately, that portion of the offense just hasn't gotten it going the last few weeks. Is probably going to be a challenge a little bit once again this week. The Packers come in at 12th in the NFL against the run. Maybe an increased workload for Alec Ingold, who's essentially off the injury report. So maybe from a health standpoint, he's a little better this week. He only logged 9 snaps against the Patriots last week. And yeah, when he was out there, it's not like we were tearing it up on the ground anyways, but maybe he's gotten a little bit more rest by essentially not really playing all that much last week and then having a few more days here. But for me, this run game, it's on the offensive line. They got to get that push. They got to set the tone on the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be a challenge against a team that's, let's say it, they're more physical. They're used to playing in this cold compared to us, who we carry still that finesse tag. And yeah, we play better when it's beautiful, when it's nice and sunny outside. There's no really way of getting around it right now. But the other thing our running backs need to do this week, protect the ball. Just protect the ball, because once again, cold weather can do funny things. If we start turning the ball over on the ground again, like we did weeks back with Raheem Mostert, our chances of leaving Lambeau Field with a win significantly decrease. Now, the nice thing I'll say is that our leading rusher, Devon Achane, hasn't fumbled yet all this season. So I'm hoping I didn't just jinx the hell out of him, knocking on wood right there by bringing that up. But I tell you what, ball security is a sneaky, underrated key to victory in this game, at least in my opinion. All right, we got to throw in that prediction, Dolphins fans. You pop that up on the screen. I'm doing it. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. 3-game winning streak's done something to us, Dolphins fans. Look, I think we need to be more balanced. Like I said, I think we need to protect the ball in this one, but this is the exact type of game where you can make a statement, you can create belief, you can create motivation in the locker room, and that's exactly what this team needs and needs to build on for a potential stretch run here trying to make the playoffs. So no, I don't think by the score, I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think that we can just have our way with the Packers and really any category in this game the way I thought we could with the Raiders, with the Patriots. But man, we're on a 3-game winning streak. We're starting to believe that there's still a chance. So Dolphins fans, let's make it dramatic. Give me a last-second walk-off field goal, 27-24, Miami Dolphins. But like I said, I do want to hear from you. I don't know. Drop me your final score predictions in the comments. I don't know when I'm going to have my next video. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a recap for this one just with the holiday and travel and not even being home and being at the game. So there may not even be a recap video to this one. I'm sorry for that one, but I'll be sure to tell you all about my experiences from the game as well. So I will wrap it forward there today, Miami Dolphins fans. Like I said, let's hear your final score comments. If you're going to be at the game, drop some information in the comments as well. We can take it from there. All right, Dolphins fans, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy Thanksgiving night more than anything. Let's get that Dolphins win and fins up.